Start my countdown with number 7, Eugenio Suarez of the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is a veteran type third baseman that's been around the league. Has helped Seattle, has helped Cincinnati. Is helping obviously now the Arizona Diamondbacks. Definitely a guy that's very underrated. A lot of people really don't look at him, but he's got some great power to him. Defensively, he's honestly pretty underrated. So overall, 33 years old, 10 years in the league, 1 year, $15 million. He's got a club option this year, so they decided to keep him in Arizona with the contract. 158 games played, 571 at bats, 90 runs, 146 hits, 28 doubles, 2 triples, 30 home runs, 101 RBIs, 49 walks, 176 strikeouts, 2 stolen bases, a 256 average, a 319 on base, a 469 slugging with a 788 OPS, a 3.1 WAR, which is great. 155 games played, 1,261.2 innings, 88 putouts, 292 assists, 10 errors, 33 double plays for a 97.4 fielding percentage. Again, had a good year both sides of the field. He was eighth in games played in the NL. He was ninth in home runs in the NL, sixth in RBIs in the NL, first in games played as a third baseman in the NL, fifth in putouts as a third baseman in the NL, second in assists as a third baseman in the NL, second in double plays turned as a third baseman in the NL, and second in fielding percentage as a third baseman in the NL. So overall, yeah, he had a phenomenal year. I do believe that his impact in this team is again underrated and overlooked, but he is impactful, and this is going to be definitely a guy you need to look out for, especially if Arizona wants to go back to the playoffs and make a run to possibly go to another World Series. So Eugenio Suarez, very impactful. Super excited to see what he does this year. Six, we got Nolan Arenado, third baseman of the St. Louis Cardinals. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's a legend in his own right. Definitely one of the best defensive third basemen of all time. He's up there, obviously. Definitely slowed down a little bit this year, especially defensively, but he still is a very productive player. I would love to see. He's like one of those guys I would like to see win a ring. So can he do it in St. Louis? I would say slightly, probably no. But can I see him doing it elsewhere? I think if he can try to go to a different team, I think I could see it. I would just want to see him in the postseason, and I would like to see him in a deep playoff run, just because I feel like we really have not ever had that ability of seeing that from him, unfortunately, and it's not even of his fault. So, Nolan Arenado is 33 years old, 11 years in the league, 3 years, $52 million on the contract. He's got deferred money, though, starting all the way from 2022 all the way to 2041, $44 million in total. He is making $2 million annually from 2022 to 2032, and then $3 million from 2032 to 2041. So, again, these players have some smart moves with this deferred money for sure. 152 games played, 578 at bats, 70 runs, 157 hits, 23 doubles, 16 home runs, 71 RBIs, 44 walks, 92 strikeouts, 2 stolen bases, a 272 average, a 325 on base, a 394 slugging, a 719 OPS with a 2.5 WAR. He played 145 games, 1,268.1 innings, 103 putouts, 280 assists, 9 errors, 26 double plays for a 97.7 fielding percentage. He was fourth in defensive games as a third baseman in the NL. He was first in putouts as a third baseman in the NL. He was fourth in assists as a third baseman in the NL. He was also fifth in defensive double plays turned as a third baseman in the NL, and he was first in fielding percentage as a third baseman in the NL. So, yeah, I feel like maybe he gotten robbed of maybe another Gold Glove. There is a lot of great talent out there, though. So, overall, I do see him winning another Gold Glove. I do see him still producing, and hopefully, I could see his power. He can make about 20 home runs and whatnot, and I hope to see that his decline isn't starting now. I hope that he can continue to perform at a high level. And yeah, definitely very deserving. He's closer to top 5 for his age is impressive, and I do see him climbing up again. He just needs to continue to do what he does, and that's being Nolan Arenado, both offensively and defensively. Again, it's a tough position. There's a lot of young guys out here hungry for being a top guy. So, no, Arenado very deserving here, though. 5, I got Rafael Devers of the Boston Red Sox. Yeah, uh, superstar out here in Boston. Definitely a guy that I definitely believe that he really enjoys playing the game, has a great time. Power hitter, definitely doubles machine, and I would say underlooked type fielder. Obviously, with everything, they can get better, but yeah, he really is a overlooked type player. I think with Boston's non-success of being a contending team, I don't think that many people pay attention to some of these guys, and I think Rafael Devers definitely does get his name thrown around there. I just believe they don't actually hype it up as much as they need to, because he really is a talented baseball player. Um, yeah, he's 28 years old, 7 years in the league, 9 years, $230 million, deferred money from 2034 to 2043, 7.5 annually, and it's going to be a total of $89 million for that deferred money, which is insane. 138 games played, 525 at bats, 87 runs, 143 hits, 34 doubles, 5 triples, insane, 28 home runs, 83 RBIs, 67 walks, 147 strikeouts, 3 stolen bases, a 212 average, a 354 on base, a 516 slugging, an 871 OPS with a 3.7 WAR. He played 130 games at first, 1,138.1 innings, 102 putouts, 185 assists, 12 errors, 19 double plays for a 96 fielding percentage. He was an all-star. He was 13 in the AL MVP voting. He was 9th in slugging percentage in the AL. He was 9th in OPS in the AL. He was 7th in doubles in the AL. 10th in triples in the AL. 3rd in defensive games as a third baseman in the AL. 2nd in putouts as a third baseman in the AL. 5th in assists as a third baseman in the AL. 3rd in double plays turned as a third baseman in the AL. And 5th in fielding percentage as a third baseman in the AL. Outstanding. Just great overall year for him. They definitely want to see him having these kinds of years. Obviously, 138 games, he did miss some time, not as much, but it would be nice to see him play to close of the whole year, and I could see him having some monster years, and I definitely could see him winning an MVP type. If you cast a vote, I believe he can be an AL MVP. He just needs to stay healthy, but overall, he is the backbone of this team, and I believe they should appreciate what they have, and that's Rafael Devers, a superstar right now. So the deeper we get into the top 5, the more we see, obviously, superstar players in the making here. Well, let's look at number 4, Manny Machado, huh? Yeah, I mean, definitely an icon, legend type guy. I mean, Gold Glove, a premier bat, has gotten better every year. Definitely started out with that young superstardom in Baltimore. Went over to LA for a year, and then in San Diego, he's made his presence felt. He's definitely made the San Diego Padres team a contending team. They've been to the playoffs, like they've had their share of it. So you got to give him credit where credit is due, and yeah, he's really changed the face of this franchise. He's 32 years old, 12 years in the league, 9 years, $314 million. It's insane there. 152 games played, 593 at bats, 77 runs, 163 hits, 30 doubles, 29 home runs, 105 RBIs, 45 walks, 124 strikeouts, 11 stolen bases, a 275 average, a 325 on base, a 472 slugging, a 797 OPS with a 3.2 WAR. Played 100 games at third, 873.2 innings, 78 putouts, 147 assists, 7 errors, 11 double plays for a 97 fielding percentage. In the postseason, he played all 7 games on offense and defense. He had 28 at-bats, 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 double, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, 9 strikeouts, a 179 average and on base, 321 slugging with a 500 OPS. Again, it wasn't what you think of Manny Machado. I would love to see him become definitely more more of a threat in the postseason for sure. That was not awesome for him in terms of his standard. He did have 61 innings, one put out, 16 assists, one error, one double play, and he did have a 94.4 fielding percentage. He was an All MLB Team 2. He was a 16th in the NL MVP voting. He was a Silver Slugger. He was 8th in hits in the NL, and he was 3rd in RBIs in the NL. I believe he'll still continue to produce at a high level, and I would like to see more of Manny Machado. And another guy that I do want to see him win a ring for sure. I really enjoy Manny Machado. I think a lot of people think of him as arrogant, and I mean, hey, he says he gets booed everywhere, but I am really am a fan of Manny and what he's been able to do his entire career. So overall, props to him, and he deserves to being on this list. In the top three now, we got Austin Riley of the Atlanta Braves. Yeah, superstar for sure. Definitely very impactful for the ball club. Definitely a team for the past 2 years that I really thought that was the biggest threat to the Dodgers. I believe last year or this year, I believe that I don't think it was really possible. I think everyone knew it was going to be the Dodgers and they were going to win the whole thing. So, but the 2023 year, I really thought. Diamondbacks obviously out of the question. I really thought it was going to be Atlanta's year. I thought they were going to, go out, do what they need to do. I do believe that that team would have beaten the Texas Rangers. Honestly, they just had they have a better lineup, a better team. They had a lot going for them. So they got surprised this year. It was more injuries, so that's the reason why they didn't make it as far. But this is a team that's still built to win and built to win now, and I do believe that a year or two with the roster that they have, I think they'll win a World Series. I really do. I think they'll go ahead and win one again. They'll be on the mountaintop. Austin Riley's 27 years old, 5 years in the league, 9 years, $192 million. His ninth year is a $20 million club option. 110 games played, 425 at bats, 63 runs, 109 hits, 26 doubles, 2 triples, 19 home runs, 56 RBIs, 37 doubles, 118 strikeouts. 256 average, 322 on base, 461 slugging, and a 783 OPS with a 2.9 WAR. 109 games played at third, 960.1 innings, 60 putouts, 178 assists, 10 errors, 17 double plays for a 96 fielding percentage. The biggest thing is the fact that no major awards, but how about the fact that he was injured for that 2024 postseason? He had that broken hand, and I do believe that his contributions, like being left out, really made it hard for them to really go deep into the playoffs. I think having Austin Riley there, healthy and ready to go, this team would have made it super far. So, overall, Austin Riley, if he stays healthy, this man can get you 30 plus homers. This man definitely will be, a huge power bat and already a powerful lineup. So, I hope to see him healthy. But he really is a top 3 third baseman in the game, and his productivity is unmatched, and he's super impactful for Atlanta. Even with the amount of stars they got, he really is very, very crucial for their success. Number 2, I got Alex Bregman, dude, with the Houston Astros. Yeah, I mean, what a dynamic player, impactful for their team. Absolutely. Houston Astros, honestly, they bring up the Jordan Alvarez, they bring up the Jose Altuves, they bring up the bullpen, they bring up the starting pitching. And they occasionally do throw in Alex Bregman. I believe, it's definitely been higher in terms of the regards for him, and I get that. Maybe because of the 2022 World Series, maybe he started getting more notice, but this is a man that's been doing it for a while, and he's been very productive for the team, and a huge, huge possible loss if they cannot get him. Obviously, they signed Paredes for a reason. I believe that in their heart of hearts, I don't think he's going to come back to Houston. I think he'll go play somewhere else. Obviously, that's a huge downgrade, though. I mean, Paredes is younger by 5 years, and he definitely has potential of being a good replacement for Bregman and making his own name there. But Alex Bregman, though, is a World Series champion, and he's got postseason experience and just in general MLB experience. So replacing a guy like that is going to be hard. 30 years old, 8 years in the league. Again, he can go anywhere. 145 games played, 581 at bats, 79 runs, 151 hits, 30 doubles, 2 triples, 26 home runs, 75 RBIs, 44 walks, 86 strikeouts, 3 stolen bases, a 260 average, a 315 on base, a 453 slugging, a 768 OPS with a 4.1 WAR. Played 142 games at third, 1,234.2 innings, 103 putouts, 242 assists, 10 errors, 23 double plays for a 97.2 fielding percentage. He played 2 games, offensive and defensively, 8 at bats, 3 hits, 375 average on base and slugging for 750 OPS. So great numbers there. 18 innings, 1 putout, 100% fielding percentage. He was a Gold Glove. He was first in defensive games played as a third baseman in the AL. First in putouts as a third baseman in the AL. First in assists as a third baseman in the AL. First in double plays turned as a third baseman in the AL. And first in field percentage as a third baseman in the AL. Great defense. Definitely improved on it. Again, he's going to go where he wants to. Will he be back in a Houston Astros uniform? Really, it remains to be seen. Wherever he goes, though, it's a huge impact for him. And hopefully he can, do what he needs to do and get back to the postseason and really just impact whatever club he's on, really. One, Jose Ramirez, 100%. Jose Ramirez has been the best third baseman in the world. He's been so productive throughout his entire career in Cleveland. He's the general over there. He's the guy that is Mr. Consistent, and he's always on the MVP ballot. So overall, he has been phenomenal, and he deserves his honor of being number one. 32 years old, 10 years in the league, 4 years, $88 million, 158 games played, 620 at bats, 114 runs, 173 hits, 39 doubles, 2 triples, 39 home runs, 118 RBIs, 54 walks, 82 strikeouts, 41 stolen bases, 279 average, 335 on base, 537 slugging for an 872 OPS, 6.8 WAR, which is great. That's phenomenal. 126 games played at third. He had 1,108 innings, 99 putouts, 207 assists, 9 errors, 23 double plays, and a 97.1 fielding percentage. In the playoffs, both offense and defense, 10 games played, 35 at-bats, 5 runs, 8 hits, 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, 7 walks, 5 strikeouts, 2 stolen bases, 229 average, a 364 on base, a 486 slugging, and an 849 OPS. 89 innings, 6 putouts, 11 assists, 1 error, 2 double plays, a 94.4 fielding percentage. Obviously playing in the ALCS against the Yankees. He was an All-Star, an All-MLB Team 1, 5th in the AL MVP voting, a Silver Slugger, 6th in WAR with position players in the AL, 7th in slugging percentage in the AL, 8th in OPS in the AL, 8th in games played in the AL, 7th in at-bats in the AL, 5th in runs in the AL, 8th in innings in the AL, 5th in doubles in the AL, 4th in home runs in the AL, 2nd in RBIs in the AL, 2nd in stolen bases in the AL, 4th in defensive games played as a third baseman in the AL, 3rd in putouts as a third baseman in the AL, 2nd in assists as a third baseman in the AL, 1st in double plays turned as a third baseman in the AL, and 2nd in fielding percentage as a third baseman in the AL. He is definitely, I feel like, robbed of an AL MVP. I think he's going to be one. I would love to see him win one. He just deserves it. He's been in Cleveland this whole time. He hasn't left, and he's been pretty true to his team and a great leader. Produces at the highest levels, clutch moments. Like he's there, man. And so overall, for him, for the state of baseball, for even myself, I would love to see Jose Ramirez win. Definitely an MVP and definitely a World Series. Love to see him even win World Series MVP. I just want the best for him. He is the best third baseman in the world, and nothing's changed of this year.